Hey, how's it going, guys? Today, let's find out if OP is or is not the asshole. Let's go! I, 44 male, hate my girlfriend. 47 females, kids. You hate her kids? Alright, well, let's find out why. My girlfriend's kids are two of the most worthless human beings I've ever met. Jeez. Both are adults. Both are adults, 25 male and 28 female. The daughter has 2 kids, 4 and 8 years old. Neither have jobs, okay? Both live off the government and me. We have been together for 18 months and it's been a constant fight. She wants to give her kids everything. I want to live our lives happily. On average, it's $1K a month to support her kids. My kids are grown and self-sufficient. Am I wrong for being mad that I constantly have to pay for 2 adult children? Her daughter comes and stays in our 5th wheel all the time. She and her kids have destroyed the trailer to the point where it's worth approximately $30K less than it should be. It's filthy. I can't get her to clean up after herself and her kids. Am I the asshole? Well, fuck no. What the hell? She has 2 adult kids, 25 male and 28 female. Were they like bumming their whole life? They obviously they don't have a job, but have they ever had a job? And it's like, I'm not putting the blame on you, but like, why are you letting them come around? I feel like you should put like a hard stop to this. You should say like, hey, you guys are fucking freeloaders. Go get a job. Go do something with your life. You're 28 and 25. What are you guys doing? And on top of that, you have kids. What kind of example is this for your kids? Why are you still in this relationship? Exactly. Why? Oh my goodness. Like, okay, it's one thing if they're like in a difficult situation and they're struggling and yeah, you decide to be a nice person and help out, but they have done nothing. They're living off your accomplishments, your goodwill to actually let them stay in your place and probably have no plans to go out and do stuff for themselves. So honestly, like, is it worth it? I have no idea. I'm sure you love your wife. This is a girlfriend. Get out now while you have the chance before marriage. Oh my goodness, I can't even imagine. Hard stop, leave this relationship. Am I the asshole for being upset that I found out my wife was pregnant via social media? I'm 29 and she is 27. We've been together for 4 years, married for 2, both from the same hometown, but currently living in a different city. She is at our hometown for a family event. I stayed back due to work. We've been trying to get pregnant for 3 months and now it's happened. The problem is the way I found out about it. My friend congratulated me by posting a screenshot in our group chat, a screenshot of an Instagram story posted by one of my wife's friends. The post was my wife crying and hugging some of her friends with the caption, "You are going to be the best mom." I called her right away and she answered pretty quickly saying, "I have news, babe." All I said was, "I know, you're pregnant." She replied, "Wow, babe, how'd you know?" I just said, "Saw it on Insta. Didn't think to call me first, huh?" She said, "What? I didn't post anything." I responded, "Yeah, but your friends did. That's one way to find out I'm going to be a dad. Thanks." And I hung up. I was furious. She kept calling me, but I didn't answer until my sister called me shortly after. My sister asked me what was going on because she just arrived at my in-laws' house and everyone was freaking out, fighting, and my wife was locked up in her room. I told her what happened and she said, "There's no way she would do that." I replied, "Well, she did." My sister said she was going to find out what's going on. A little later, my sister called me back and explained everything. At some point, I had calmed down, thinking it was just a crappy friend who decided to post without permission, but my sister filled me in on the details. My wife was late on her period, and while hanging out with her friends, they thought, what if you're already pregnant? So they bought a bunch of pregnancy tests, all of which came out positive. They freaked out, told their parents, and texted some friends in a town to come over. From the time she found out to the time her friend posted on Instagram, only 2 hours had passed. My wife told at least 10 people before telling me. For the record, my sister told me the argument going on when she arrived was because of the other friends were upset with the one who posted on Instagram. Apparently, they all thought it was a shitty thing to do and was mad at her, but they also couldn't understand why my wife hadn't told me sooner. I finally called my wife and she was crying. She apologized and said she'd been planning to surprise me, which is why she hadn't told me yet. I was skeptical and pointed out that if she really wanted to surprise me, she wouldn't have been ready to tell me when I called. She went silent, and I told her I needed some time to think. She yelled, saying that I couldn't just walk away and that we needed to talk about it. I replied, "Why do we need to talk? So you can lie again?" And I hung up. A ton of people have been messaging me, but I'm honestly exhausted. I don't know why, but I feel this has drained me. I cried randomly, which is unusual for me. I'm not a crier. This isn't supposed to be a huge deal, but it feels like I had been hit by a truck. My sister sent me a message that really stuck. Hey, I know this sucks and it was crappy of her, but don't let this ruin it for you. You're going to be a dad. You're going to be an amazing dad. This is great. The only thing keeping me going right now is knowing that I'm going to be a dad. I've dreamed of this, and all I hoped is that the baby is healthy. I'll probably swallow my pride and pretend that I'm fine just to avoid making my wife too emotional during the pregnancy, but I'll do that tomorrow. Tonight, I'll just sulk. I agree that this situation is a jumbled mess, and honestly, yes, your wife should have told you first instead of her friends, but I understand the circumstances. Like, okay, she was around her friends when she took the pregnancy test. They were all excited, and then one friend happened to just post it on Instagram, and that just completely ruined the surprise for you entirely. So I understand, like, yeah, circumstances were just messed up all around. But then again, when you did call her, she did just blurt out, hey, I got news for you, you're gonna be a dad. So yeah, the whole she was planning a surprise for you, I think was just a lie. But with that being said, I think bottom line, she should have told you immediately. Honestly, it just sounds like the friend was a shitty person who just jumped the gun and decided to blab her mouth to like the fucking public. So if anyone's to blame here, it is definitely your wife's friend. Feelings were hurt, things were said, but I feel like this could be fixed. I mean, you guys are gonna talk and settle it, and I'm sure it'll be fine. But that one friend, I would say, distance yourself from them for a little bit. Go a little bit low contact. I've been sending my girlfriend Starbucks delivery every couple of days, and it started to cause issues at her work. I'm 28 female and my girlfriend is 27. My girlfriend is extremely picky with her coffee. She hates hot coffee and coffee without a shit ton of milk. Both me and my girlfriend have separate finances. Whenever my girlfriend texts me that her day is boring or stressful, I will Uber Eats her Starbucks to her work, so she has a coffee and a cake pop. It's something I can afford to do and she absolutely loves whenever I surprise her at work with a sweet treat. I've been doing this for the past couple of months with no issue. A few days ago, my girlfriend came home and told me that she absolutely loves the Starbucks and doesn't want me to stop, but that some of the other women have started to kick up a fuss over it. And from what my girlfriend was able to gather, the women think my girlfriend is rubbing it in their face that she gets treated to a nice drink every few days. It started to cause some issues in the break room due to some of the women being incredibly jealous. I'm wondering if I should stop for a while or continue doing it. Edit, I will chat with my girlfriend when she gets home about it, if she feels comfortable still having her treats or if I should stop. Thanks for the help. I wouldn't stop doing this. This is like you said, this is something you can afford to do, and if she's having a shitty day, you know exactly how to make her feel better. Who cares what the other women think? I'm wondering if I should stop for a while or continue doing it. Leave that up to your girlfriend. If you want to keep sending her coffees, then it's up to her if she wants to deal with the jealous office bitches or not the asshole. That's the other thing too. I feel like your girlfriend is probably, trying to be a nice person and considerate, and then she might ask you to stop for a while, and if she wants to do that, that's completely fine. But if I was in that situation, I would say, no, fuck you guys, I'm getting fucking coffee and a cake pop, this is awesome. And I would be petty and I'd be sipping that shit really loud. I would hover over the cubicle and eat the cake pop and let the crumbs fall on their work. But no, I wouldn't stop at all. Like, let the other women complain, who cares? Am I the asshole for bringing a dish from my culture to my in-laws' family reunion? I am 28 female and Chinese American. My husband and my in-laws are all white. On Saturday, they had a family reunion, and because my husband wanted me to go so bad, I made a traditional Chinese dish called, oh my goodness, Xiaolongbao? Xiaolongbao. What does it look like? Oh, they look like dumplings. What's wrong with that? My mother-in-law gave me a bad look when I placed the plate down at the table. She comes up to me and asks, what have you got there? I tell her what it is, and she told me that Eastern food doesn't belong in her home. I was forced to throw it. What? I was forced to throw it out, and my heart was broken. What the fuck? I walked out and sat in the car for an hour waiting for my husband to come out. On the car ride home, it was mostly silent until he broke it with, yeah, sorry about that, my mom really doesn't like any culture outside of my family's. My in-laws have never been directly racist to me before. This is the second gathering with them I've been to, and also the third seeing my mother-in-law. My family isn't happy at this, and my sister suggested that I divorce my husband and marry within our culture. My mom was never happy with me marrying him in the first place, and I didn't have a wedding because of it. My husband has a neutral opinion on the situation and acts like this isn't much of a big deal. He said that his family didn't seem to care about our relationship at all, but I'm starting to think he may have lied to me about that. Oh, he definitely lied to you about that. That's fucking racist. What the hell? Like, the food you brought, the food I found on Google at least, they just look like dumplings. It's like, what, she's never seen a dumpling before? I don't get that. And yes, it's not about the food. It's about you being Chinese and marrying her son. And definitely your husband lied to you about his family not even caring that you're Chinese, because clearly they have a problem with it. It doesn't belong in her home. Is that really a metaphor for how she feels about her son bringing you into their lives? What a hideous, tacky bitch. My daughter-in-law is Chinese and I love her. She's smart and talented, and I think my son is so lucky they found each other. And I'd be thrilled if she brought something of her culture to my family gathering. I'm so sorry for your experience with those awful people. If you have kids, guess who will never get to see them? Yeah, and that's another thing. Like, if you end up having kids with this guy, like, it's not gonna make it better. I have a feeling the in-laws, they're gonna have an issue with them just because they're Chinese mixed. And I don't know, they can try to justify it however they want, but bottom line, they're being racist. And if I were you, I would leave this relationship, because for one thing, your husband did lie to you. They obviously do have an issue with you being Chinese, and I wouldn't want to marry into that. So leave while you have the chance. Am I the asshole for serving only vegan food at my wedding without telling anyone, then getting upset when my family ordered 20 pizzas during the reception? I, 28 female, just had my wedding last weekend. My husband, 30 male, and I have been vegan for 3 years, and we decided to have an all-vegan reception dinner. We spent months working with an amazing chef to create a gourmet 5-course meal that just so happened to be vegan. Think mushroom Wellington, truffle risotto, roasted vegetable tarts, etc. We spent nearly $15,000 on food alone, Jesus. We deliberately didn't mention the food was vegan on the invitations because we wanted people to enjoy it without prejudice. Every dish was designed to be delicious and satisfying, regardless of dietary preference. The ceremony was beautiful, but during the reception, I noticed my brother Tom, 32 male, wasn't at his table. 20 minutes later, I watched in horror as he and my cousin walked in carrying 20 large pizzas. They started distributing them to the guests, announcing, "Real food for anyone who wants it." I was mortified, the caterers looked so embarrassed, and several guests hadn't even tried our carefully planned menu yet. When I confronted Tom, he said my aunt had texted him saying all the food is just vegetables and they couldn't let people go hungry at a wedding. The pizza completely upstaged our expensive gourmet meal. People were taking photos and treating it like a joke. My mother-in-law posted on Facebook about how her son's wedding was saved by pizza because the bride tried to force everyone to eat rabbit food. I ended up crying in the bathroom and my husband asked Tom and my cousins to leave. This caused a scene, and now half of the family is calling us stuck up and saying we ruined our own wedding by pushing our beliefs on everyone. They are saying we should have warned people about the vegan menu. Am I the asshole for not announcing the menu was vegan and then getting upset about the pizzas? Okay, initial thoughts, yes, a vegan menu. I've had vegan food before and it's not great. You said you had a gourmet chef. You spent $15,000 on an all-vegan menu. I'm gonna say, like, okay, maybe some of it's good. Maybe some of it's good. If you're actually working with a chef who knows vegan stuff and knows how to make it taste amazing, honestly, I would want to give that a try. I feel like the family could have put aside their, like, oh, I hate vegetables or whatever for one fucking day for your wedding. Like, them eating vegetables and rabbit food is not gonna fucking kill them. So while I'll say, like, yeah, I mean, you probably should have told them beforehand, but like, it's your wedding, like, you can serve whatever food you want. I feel like the family could have sucked it up for one day, your wedding day, a very important day. $15,000 on food at a wedding? What a waste of money. If you want to look at it that way, you can look at it that way. So you spent your own money on the $15,000 worth of vegan food. You really wanted your family to experience real good vegan food, and I understand that completely. Your family could set aside their pride for one day and just eat the vegetable, man. It's not gonna kill you. Well, that's gonna go ahead and do it for this episode of Reddit, Am I the Asshole? What are y'all's thoughts on these stories I read today? Whether you agree or disagree with me, whatever it is, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Later.